The Montreal Canadiens are about to make a decision that will either accelerate their championship timeline or haunt Kent Hughes for the next decade. The whispers echoing through NHL front offices have reached a fever pitch, and one name keeps surfacing in conversations that could reshape the entire landscape of professional hockey in Quebec. This isn't just another trade rumor. This is about bringing home a generational talent who was supposed to be the savior of hockey in New York, but might find his destiny wearing the sacred blue blanc rouge of Montreal. The brutal truth that nobody wants to acknowledge. Alexis Lafreniere's Rangers career has been a masterclass in unfulfilled potential, not because he lacks talent, but because he's been trapped in a system that never truly unleashed what made him the consensus first overall pick in 2020. The same player who dominated junior hockey, who carried Team Canada to World Junior Gold, who was supposed to be the next great superstar, has been reduced to a complementary piece in someone else's puzzle. But what if that puzzle was never the right fit? What if the most electrifying prospect of his generation just needed to come home? The framework being whispered in executive suites across the league sounds almost too good to be true. A pick, a prospect, and Patrick Laine for Lafrenière. If Frank Saravalli's sources are accurate, Montreal might be on the verge of pulling off the most underrated heist in franchise history. Alexis Lafrenière, Montreal Canadiens, Quebec. Let's dissect what this really means. Lafrenière isn't just another skill forward. He's a 6 feet 2 inches, 191-pound left winger who combines elite hockey IQ with the kind of physical tools that translate perfectly to playoff hockey. His 57 points in 82 games last season might seem modest, but context matters in professional sports. Those numbers came while playing a structured Rangers system that prioritized offensive responsibility over offensive creativity. Imagine what those numbers become when Lafrenière joins a Montreal system built around transition hockey, creative playmaking, and unleashing young talent. Martin St. Louis has proven he can maximize offensive potential in ways that traditional coaches cannot. The same coach who transformed Cole Caulfield from struggling rookie to elite goal scorer could work similar magic with a player of Lafreniere's caliber. The Quebec connection adds a psychological dimension that transcends statistics and salary cap mathematics. This isn't just about acquiring talent. It's about bringing home a native son who grew up dreaming of wearing the CH logo. The motivation factor becomes immeasurable when a player isn't just performing for a paycheck, but for childhood dreams and provincial pride. Picture Bell Center erupting as Lafrenière scores his first goal in a Canadiens uniform. Imagine the marketing possibilities, the jersey sales, the emotional connection with a fan base that has waited decades for homegrown superstar talent. This transcends hockey operations and enters the realm of cultural phenomenon. But here's where the conversation gets complicated and potentially controversial among Montreal's fan base. The proposed trade package includes Patrick Laine, a player who has already hinted at his desire to leave Montreal. Laine's situation creates perfect storm conditions for this deal to materialize. Laine's public comments about wishing Montreal had traded him at the deadline reveal a player who no longer sees himself in the organization's long-term plans. His pending unrestricted free agency status means Montreal faces the prospect of losing him for nothing if they don't act decisively. Trading him for Lafrenière transforms a potential loss into a massive gain. The age factor cannot be ignored in this analysis. Lafrenière is only 24 years old, entering what should be the prime years of his career. His best hockey is still ahead of him, not behind him. Compare that to acquiring aging veterans on declining contracts, and the value proposition becomes obvious. The tactical fit with Montreal's emerging core creates matchup nightmares for opposing coaches. Lafreniere's size and skill on the left wing perfectly complements Ivan Demidov's creativity and Uri Slavkovsky's power forward development. That trio could form one of the most dynamic young lines in the entire NHL. Nick Suzuki's playmaking ability would find new dimensions with Lafreniere's hockey IQ and finishing capability. Cole Caulfield's goal-scoring threat would benefit from having another elite offensive weapon drawing defensive attention. The ripple effects throughout Montreal's entire forward group would be transformational. The Rangers' motivation to make this deal stems from their own competitive timeline pressures. New York faces salary cap constraints and aging core players who demand immediate championship success. Lafreniere's development curve doesn't align with their win-now mentality, creating an opportunity for Montreal to exploit. Chris Drury has shown willingness to make bold moves when he believes they improve his team's championship chances. If the Rangers view Laine as a better short-term fit for their current core, this trade makes sense from both perspectives. The prospect and pick components of this deal represent the cost of doing business in today's NHL. Championship teams understand that you must sacrifice future assets to acquire present talent when competitive windows open. Montreal's prospect pool remains deep enough to absorb the loss of one high-end prospect without compromising their long-term development pipeline. The timing couldn't be more perfect. Montreal's young core is ready to take the next step, but they need additional elite talent to compete with the Atlantic Division's established powers. Toronto, Boston, and Tampa Bay all possess veteran cores with championship experience. Montreal needs to accelerate their talent acquisition, close that gap. But the real question haunting this potential trade: can Lafrenière handle the pressure of playing in Montreal? The expectations, the media scrutiny, the weight of an entire province's hockey dreams resting on his shoulders? The answer might lie in his junior career success and international performance. Players who thrive under pressure at the highest levels typically continue that success in professional hockey. Lafreniere's World Junior Gold Medal performance suggests he possesses the mental fortitude required for Montreal's unique environment. This trade represents more than roster improvement. It's a statement about Montreal's competitive timeline, their belief in their current core, their willingness to make bold moves when opportunities arise. It signals to the entire organization that management believes this group can win now, not in some distant future. The risk-reward calculation favors Montreal in this scenario. They're trading a player who wants to leave for a player who would embrace coming home. They're exchanging aging talent for prime-age potential. They're transforming a potential loss into a massive organizational gain. Ken Hughes has built his reputation on calculated risks that maximize long-term value. This trade fits perfectly within that philosophy while addressing immediate competitive needs. Will Montreal pull the trigger on the deal that brings Alexis Lafrenière home to Quebec? Hit that like button if you believe this trade would transform Canadiens into legitimate championship contenders. And subscribe because this summer's moves will determine whether Montreal's young core reaches its full potential or falls short of expectations.